So, I want to tell you something straight out the gate. The good days are over, and they're most likely, never, ever, ever coming back. Believe it or not, but it was a time when you could just get a certification, land a help desk job, stay in that role for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, barely do anything new, learn anything new, change, do nothing. And you would still get promoted, you would still get raises, all that. But those days are gone, man. But I got some good news. There's a really big opportunity in tech right now. And it's a bigger opportunity than I've ever seen in the last 20 years. The biggest difference between how things were before and now is that these opportunities are only going to a small, select group of people. So the people that have stayed curious, the people that have stayed involved, the people that have stayed excited, the people that continue to level up, not every few years, but all the time, trying to get 1% better every day. And instead of, treating tech just like a job, they treat it more like a craft. So today we're going to be talking about what it truly takes to break into tech, to stay in tech, and to continue to level up in tech over the next 20 years. I'm Rob from PassTechSearch.com. I'm a former U.S. Army Staff Sergeant that helps people just like you pass tech certs fast as fuck and get rewarding tech careers, making more money than what they're making right now. So, as of today, March 12th, 2026, Amazon, Google, and Meta have been, laying off a lot of people, right? It's kind of shook the tech industry. Like, oh man, all these giants are laying people off. But the funny thing is, while these roles are getting laid off, right? Cybersecurity, cloud, and AI roles are exploding. So if you just look at actual stats and stop, I'm looking at TikTok and people's feelings. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics said that almost 400,000 new IT jobs a year are going to be created specifically from AI over the next 10 years. Cybersecurity alone, as of right now, has at least 400,000 unfilled jobs in the U.S. alone. Cloud computing on its own is going to exceed $600 billion over the next year, right? That's billion with a B. So the problem isn't the lack of opportunities. The problem is your level of readiness, your level of preparedness for these opportunities. So, for example, let's use a story from history, right? Because if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat other people's mistakes. So long time ago, there was a gold rush, right? So let's focus on California, the California gold rush to be specific. Thousands and thousands of people rushed to California because there was a gold rush, right? All you got to do is go dig for some gold and you become rich. And most of those people that went to California looking for gold, most of them went broke. But the people who really understood what was going on, the people who really understood the opportunity that presented itself, they didn't give a damn about the gold. They built railroads, right, that will make it easier for people to travel to California. They sold shovels. They'll make it easier for the people that were digging for gold, right, and picks and flashlights and helmets and shit like that. The people that were selling the shovels actually end up making more money than the people that was digging for the gold. Those people became millionaires. Right now is that gold rush in tech. This is the same type of thing, right? So you have to make sure that you're focusing on the right opportunities so you don't end up going broke, so you don't end up wasting time, so you don't end up on the wrong end of history. So right now, what does it really take, right? What does it really take to break into tech? And a lot of you Probably you're thinking it's intelligence, right? I'm not smart enough. I don't know if I can do this. And that is not it, man. It's really just three traits that I can really think of that help most people break into tech. Number one, as of right now, especially with how fast things are going, is just being curiosity, right? Somebody that just always asks, man, how does this shit work? Like, how does this all fit together? Two, people who are disciplined, people that understand and have accepted the fact that I have to continuously upskill, I have to continuously get certifications, and are disciplined to study and hone those skills as much as possible. Then number three, the most important one, is actually doing something, right? So actually execution. Watching YouTube videos is not going to get you to where you want to get to, right? It feels good. It feels like you're progressing. It feels like you're making something happen, but you have to actually execute and do things, right? If you're just watching and watching and watching, you're really watching, a lot of these opportunities slip through your fingers. For example, I had a student who used to study networking stuff, right? So networking concepts. He wanted to become a network engineer. He wanted to become a network analyst and then become a network engineer, I should say. And on his lunch break, he would study routing, switching, subnetting. He would message me all the time, right? And it only took 45 minutes a day, right? So he had a 60-minute lunch. He would take 45 minutes to study, 15 minutes to hurry up and scarf down all his food, right? And it didn't take him no time, right? After saying he wanted to get into tech and become a network engineer for years and years and years, after 3 months, he passed A+, Net Plus, and he landed a job making more than what he was making at his old job, right? So he was right around like 55, I think, or 60. And his first job, he was making right under 70K. Not because he was a genius, not because he was the smartest person in the world, just because he stayed consistent, right? Consistency is one of those things that you can't fake. You can't act like you're doing it, you're not doing it. You have to be consistent. And the good thing about being consistent, consistency compounds, right? So some shit that you do last week, right? Then you do it the day after, and the day after, day after. After 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, all of those things, all of those inputs are going to have positive outputs, right? And that's why you have to stay consistent. You have to. So we know how to get into tech, right? But how do you stay in tech? How do we not get pushed out? How do we not get phased out? How do we not kind of, become a dinosaur in this? Number one, when you get in tech, that is not the finish line. It's the goddamn starting line. Technology and all this stuff changes constantly, all the time. For example, in the last 15 years, we've had like a virtualization boom, a cloud explosion, cybersecurity went through the roof, and then now AI is going fast as hell. If you stayed the same through each one of those iterations, you're probably out of a job right now because you became obsolete. You have to continue to put these tools in your toolbox. You have to continue to, sharpen your skills. So depending on how old you are, instead of taking a picture on your phone, believe it or not, you had to take a picture on this thing called a camera. Then you had to go somewhere and get it developed, which would take, an hour, sometimes a whole goddamn day. Then they would actually print those pictures out. So the number one manufacturer, number one product for cameras, disposable cameras specifically, was Kodak, right? They didn't invent, digital photography. They were more physical, right? So it's just like, don't nobody give a damn about having, digital. Everybody wants a physical photo, right? So for years and years and years and years, your parents, when I was younger, we used Kodak cameras, but they did not adapt. They stayed comfortable. We've been the king. We've been the giant. Ain't nobody about to push us off the block. And the company literally collapsed. And that's what happens in every industry. Tech moves super fast, and it's not waiting for Anybody. But the good thing is, if you work at your goddamn skill every day, right? If you do what you need to do every day, you can make more money than than you can imagine. You can work from anywhere, right? You can switch different lanes, right? Another thing is, if you're a person who likes to stay in one place for your whole life, you can do that. Or if you're like me, you like to move around every 3 to 5 years. You can move to other places and you won't have to worry about getting a job. A lot of people live in certain places. A lot of people stay at certain places just because they feel like that's the only place they can get a job, right? So another thing is this: you can stay where you are and work remotely. Now, this is a super important part, right? If you haven't done so yet, we about to talk about leveling up in tech. So make sure that you do a few things. Wherever you're listening to this, make sure that you rate this podcast, give it a 5 stars up. And in the comments, number one, let me know where you are, what do you do, and what do you want to do? What are you hoping to achieve by the end of this year? So a lot of people that thrive in tech, right? They keep on winning. Every time you see them, they got a new promotion. They got a different office. They got more perks. They got all kind of shit going on. It's like a cycle. They learn, right? They apply what they learn. They get a certification in what they learned, and they just keep on repeating that cycle, right? Learn, apply, certify, and just keep repeating, right? So the cycle should be like every 18 to 24 months, you should be gaining new knowledge, new certifications, learning new tools, and getting new responsibilities, and getting a new check, right? Getting more money. According to LinkedIn, right? So they have this workforce report that kind of shows you the current landscape, what they're seeing in the tech job market and the job market in general. They say the top earners in tech acquire new certifications or specializations every 2 to 3 years. Now, a lot of people that I talk with, right, before they decide to join a pro program or join one of our programs, a lot of people haven't done any type of training, no certification, no nothing since high school, right? Or if they went to college, since college. Ask yourself, close your eyes. Have I done a new certification or any specialization training in the last 2 to 3 years? The answer is no. It's time to get going, man. It's time to start leveling up, man, if you're really serious about this. Because you just got to understand, man, tech is not like anything else. It's not like I'm going to learn this shit one time and I never have to study anything. I never have to learn anything new. It's nothing like that. If you do not like learning, right? If you do not like being a lifelong learner, tech is not for you, man. This shit like a video game, right? A lot of y'all are waiting for GTA 6 or waiting for whatever the fuck video game you like. And it's just like that. There's going to be a new level, a new map, a new weapon, a new enemy, a new challenge, right? If you want to win, and you can win, man. You can do this, but you have to understand. You have to be prepared. You have to shut out all the noise on the internet, on social media, wherever, right? Because the job market is cooked. Nobody's getting employed. Nobody's getting a job. Literally, everybody is fucking hiring all the time. I have students that have, quote unquote, no experience getting jobs, and you can get a job too, but it's just going to require a lot of you, right? But it's going to be well worth it. And I think a lot of times certifications are misunderstood. It's not magic. It's not a special bullet. It's not a shortcut. It's not just a magic pill that as soon as you get certified, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon, Jeff Bezos, everybody else is going to be at your door trying to give you $100,000 a year, a private office, a secretary, a company car, and all this other stuff. It just doesn't work like that. Certifications are keys, right? Certifications are going to show employers that, one, you give a damn about what you're doing. Two, you can learn. Three, you can understand the fundamentals and you can focus for a determined amount of time, and you can commit to a goal and actually accomplish it. So according to CompTIA, right, which is the number one vendor, the most popular vendor when it comes to certifications. 91% of hiring managers consider certifications valuable, right? Important. IT professionals with certs, this is coming from CompTIA, and this is also a stat from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. IT pros with certs earn 15 to 20% more on average. I don't know about you, but 15 to 20% is a lot of goddamn money, and I'll take it, right? Because just think about it. Instead of earning, 75, 80,000, you could be earning 100,000 with certifications and skills and stuff like that, right? So the roadmap for beginners, right? The roadmap for beginners is, for one, get a certification that is going to cover the fundamentals and the basics, right? So at first, you just want to be more of a generalist and kind of understand, exactly what's going on. After that, I would say A+, right, to really get a foundation that's super strong, and A+ is going to actually open up doors for opportunities to actually get a damn job. After that, I would specialize in networking, right? So after that, I would get Network Plus, and if you want to put some sprinkles on the top of the sundae, I would get CCNA as well. Then last but not least, I would get cybersecurity. So the certification I would get for that is a certification that shows up in a bunch of different job postings and is the number one certification when it comes to cybersecurity as of right now, which would be Security Plus. Now, the caveat or the side note or whatever the hell other word you want to use is that for my students, right, I make sure that they get a job after they get A+, right? Because I'm running into a lot of people on these coaching calls, right, who already have the certification that we have in the pro program, A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, and for some reason they can't find a job. And one of the biggest reasons for that is because they were great at memorizing stuff, they were great at passing the certifications, but they didn't know how to do the goddamn job, right? And that's one of the biggest reasons that I tell my students to get the basics and get A+. Because when you have A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, COSA Plus, or CAH, or CC, or whatever certification, if you have multiple certifications, right, the expectation and the bar is much, much, much higher than it would be if you had, one, the foundation, A+, which is more of a beginner entry-level cert, and some skills, and you worked your way up, right? The scrutiny, the criticism, the obstacles you're going to run into with having all those certifications and never having a tech job is that you're going to automatically already have a bias towards you. It's like, you got all these fucking certifications but don't have any experience. So it looks like you're just, pretty much a paper warrior. You kind of go in there, you pass certification, and you just been taking certifications to pass certifications. And that's what is coming from these people, Miles, that get on coaching calls with me, right? Because I'm like, why did you keep on taking these certifications and never got a job and you're not getting no interviews? Well, I didn't know what else to do. Go get some experience, right? Go get some experience and also lower your expectations a little bit. For your first tech job, you definitely want to try and do some entry-level stuff, some help desk stuff, and a lot of help desk roles. It doesn't mean that you're going to be making $10 an hour. You can make $60, $70, $80,000 in a help desk role, right? Or an entry-level network analyst or entry-level cybersecurity analyst, right? Just make sure that you are building your skill set, right? Because, like I said, the expectation is going to be a lot more stringent than it is in any other field, right? And like I said, having those certifications, I don't know if that's clicked for you guys yet. The shit that's on the certification, employers going to actually expect for you to do that. I know that's crazy, right? It's not like a degree. You learn all this shit, calculus and English and da-da-da-da, and nobody ever asks you about it. They're going to ask you about this shit on these certifications, man, right? And they're actually going to expect for you to implement it. So that's why I always encourage all my students to, once you get the A+, go get a job, man. Go get a job to get that real-world hands-on experience and to really see how these things work in the real world, right? Because there's one thing, scenarios and stuff on a test. There's a different thing when it's actually in front of you in real life, right? So long story short, build fundamentals, make sure that you know how to troubleshoot, make sure you know how to think critically and analytically, networking knowledge, and security awareness. If you have all that stuff, man, you should not be unemployed, right? Like just collecting and just getting random certifications without a plan is like you buying $5,000 worth of gym equipment and you don't plan on lifting no damn weight. You just want to look at it. You got a bench made out of 24 karat gold. You got an elliptical made out of crystals and shit like that, but you never use it, right? It's like you wasn't planning on building no muscle. You just wanted to build the damn muscles in your credit card bill, I guess, right? Just make sure that you are doing what you need to do to get what you need to get. This is one of the biggest reasons why promote certain things and why a master IT and past tech search just doesn't work with anybody, right? To win and to work with us, you got to be serious. You got to be ready to study your ass off. You got to have the confidence, right, to pass the certifications. And you just got to be ready to put in the work. Because right now, the industry, the job market, is rewarding effort and curiosity. If you're looking for some shit that is easy, tech is not for you. But if you want an opportunity, man, this is the best field in the world to work in right now. So just remember, the good old days are gone, but they are replaced with better days, in the future. The new tech job market, new tech careers reward discipline, learning, and being able to actually adapt. So if you're willing to do what you need to do, there has never, ever been a better time in history to start, to stay in tech, and to level up in tech. The opportunities are literally everywhere. They're just not for everyone. So if you're ready to take the next step, start your certification journey at passtechsearch.com. I'll even give you the steps for that. Number one, we're going to give you a full roadmap for absolutely free. Tell you what field is perfect for you, what certifications you can actually get that's going to align with that field, and what you can expect to make. Then after that, if you want to get training and support from us, we'll be more than happy to do that. Other than that, I'll see you in class.